Alright, let's try to start getting some levels in Ranger. I think I switched all the gear over before I hopped out last time. Could not level up everything because iron was a bit of a annoyance and did not have the money for it, but should be more than enough to get started at New Game 7. Alright. I got a bit confused by the magic shop, but then I remembered I have not invested in one of the stats at all, and I do have my subclass. So, no traps, no survival of the fittest. Alright. Still don't really feel a need to. Let's see. Don't need charge chase this low. Alright, those ones will do. Let's see if this will work mana-wise. Oh, gotta make an adjustment to the setting. Alright. As you can see, the bow does a lot of damage, especially when you have all the supporting gear behind it on crits. I think skill speed will be better once I get the drums, but until then, 10% speed, attack speed there. And plus, since I have more limited options, I'm more likely to run into it. I don't quite have enough mana regen to be mana steady without Nova. Which is a bit unfortunate, but it's good enough to survive. And those will come naturally as I get more and more levels of Sorcerer. It just means if I don't have Nova yet, I need to pay more attention. And on bosses, I need to regulate my mana. I'm eventually going to get all the talents anyway, because I'm only taking 4, unless I trade some away, so don't need to be too careful or picky about what I take there. Okay, which of these is better? This one? Alright. I wish I could take both alchemists, but alas, I cannot. Sure, I'll take bleeds on crit. I don't have the healing, because I don't need it. But if you were to take the bracers that give healing on crit, that would be a prime item to look for. The Wicked Hooks. I subscribe to a much easier strategy of don't get hit that often. And that works out pretty well for me. Given the ranger's range. Look, you can still get hit. Just not often. Yeah, I have my macro set up to Hunter's Mark and Rain of Arrows. When... I guess I'll go to that one. Okay, well I got rid of the item I was just talking was good for other builds. But yeah, I have Hunter's Mark and Rain of Arrows set up to go off so that once I do get drums, they'll be able to proc it. Oh, that's one thing I need to do. Did I get both secrets? 1. No, I did not. Okay. Let's see. There it is. Alright. I'm very much actually considering just testing how overpowering weapons are, since my original assessment was, yeah, like, you really shouldn't do it until like New Game 30 or 40 for most builds. But weapons have been so pushed every big patch that I don't think that logic's true anymore. It might be more worthwhile for a lot of classes to just go straight into weapons. But I won't know that until I get the feel for it. So I have overleveled gear for short bow, and I only need a main hand weapon to transfer that over to... Well, I only need a short sword to transfer it over to short sword. And then I have the option of either being shield or dagger. Or not shield or dagger. Shield or... and the other option being hand crossbow for more damage. So I think the rest of the characters, I'm going to at least start with trying them and then possibly drop back to a magic build if that's not successful. Does require me firing a main hand though, so I might rerun New Game 12 on the Ranger if I don't get any main hands on the first run through. And it continues to be this easy. Going straight into barracks though. But we'll see. Let's reduce that mana cost to make bosses easier. Okay. Gotta remember, I'm not running a spell-based character, otherwise those orbs would have been so good. But more movement speed is not bad. Several potion fills up for fill-ups, that is, until I get the achievement, so gotta remember to pick them up on each floor, because you only get a handful every run. Oh, I killed him so quickly I didn't realize he was dead. I just got back from traveling some, so I'm a little out of it. Apologies. Yeah, I kind of thought that this was going to happen with a lot of the weapon-focused builds becoming a lot more effective early game. When I peered through the weapons list and realized that nothing that was for an arcane weapon, actually helped arcane casters. So, the switch may be worthwhile a lot earlier because of that. It had already been pushed back a little bit because of epic armor having better weapon enchants than magic enchants, but we'll see exactly how far that goes. Yeah, dealing 24 per hit. 24k. That's on unarmored targets, mind you, but it's starting to do big numbers already. That's equipment. Don't need to get it. Nothing over there. Already got the secret. Alright, we're ready to head out. The guys here don't give enough experience to be worth considering just going down there to clear. And there were several people in the Discord that never took up spells, and they got past the levels I would recommend switching anyway. So spells, weapon-only builds have been viable for some time, though hardest on things like the Sorcerer that gives absolutely no benefits, even if they're not effective. But like even with the short bow got a 50% damage increase by getting a third initial arrow. You know, that's hugely significant. Yeah, I'll do resources. Markham's mace would have been decent, but I'm already clearing this super fast, so I might as well get the resources. I don't need to do this trap. But I'm doing it so I can get Shadow Curse for this pyre. Alright, there we go. Yeah, equipment is not worth my time at all. I can get a little bit of gold out of it, but truly the amount isn't impressive, and taking time to look at the item in the shop is almost not even worth it. Alright. Did I get the secret? Got the secret. Alright. Short map. Yeah. Of the defensive talents in the game, Ranger has the worst one. But thankfully they have a bunch of speed abilities in Marksman. The ability to only get percent dodging and only after being hit is just so bad. I had considered not even taking it a while ago, but I was like, well, if you have spare talent points, you might as well. But honestly, early game, you don't have that many spare talent points. And late game, I might take it again, but for now, I'm actually appreciating having a lot smaller of a pool to get all the DPS talents. So I just might not. I might update the builds to reflect that. Of course, I'm used to dodging things a lot more than a new player coming to the game is. So obviously, if you are having trouble surviving, take the defensive talents. Even if they're bad, their defensive talents. If I get a short sword at the above level 70 range, I have a feeling it's just going to blow up content no matter what new game I'm on. Especially if I pair it with a offensive rather than defensive offhand. A good thing about unifying gear as well, though, is so much less farming. Yeah, and this clear rate's all happening without even having drums. Granted, like, I'm 5 levels over-geared for this, but so were my sorcerer and wizard when I was running them, and it didn't feel quite this buttery smooth. But maybe that's just a perception. Maybe I'm going a lot slower than I think I am. Alright, 3 levels to go. Yeah. And why I'm doing these S-like patterns is to group them up better, to get an angle on them. Don't know why it works exactly mathematically, but that's what my intuition sort of pulls me towards. And it feels right. So if you have something better that you do, do it. But it kind of feels like kneading, though. Group them up and stretch them out. Saving one Shadow Curse in case there is higher on this floor than next. Let's see, one secret there. Okay, I did get those secrets. Good, good. I had a feeling I did, but I stopped counting. Alright, Greater Ring Assistance, good. Book of Arms, also a little bit good. One secret. I don't need to get this, but I will. Already bought the trinkets. Alright. There's a secret. Alright. Yeah, and obviously if there's anything that you want to ask in chat, I will respond to chat. Though I think today's probably going to be a quiet day. I don't see too many people moving about there. Okay, 1.1 levels left. One level's left. Yeah. Whoopsie doodle. Alright. Quarter of a level left, and then I can just start skipping. So that should only be a couple rooms or two. Alright, sorry, a couple rooms or more. A couple rooms is already 2. And conveniently, they placed the exit right next to me. Alright, I still need to collect the goodies here. Let me do that. Oh, I thought I got Shadow Curse there. I misheard. Alright, I don't think there's anything else. So... boy. We got 2 very good items from that, so Avatar should be even easier. I do not have the advantage of having a shield on this character, obviously. So I can't take the wisp's damage, but if I just kill them before they get to me, you know, it accomplishes a similar goal. Alright. Bit of a tricky wicket, but I can get out of here just by thinning this out a little bit. Whoopsie-doodle. Iron, please. Yes. righty, right. Well, quick New Game 7 run. With that amount of iron, I'm going to be able to upgrade things. How fast was the... Okay, 37 minutes. Same as a sorcerer, but I was poking around, so I'll take that. Still, not a bad run at all. Let me go upgrade a few things, and then we'll be on our way. You first. You second. That's all I'm going to do for now, because I'm going to hope an imp is going to be nice to me somewhere along the way and save me some trouble. I am going to sell some of the wood, though, and make some chapel donations. And switch a few things over there. Alright. That's correct. Switch this over to health. Are there any attunements that I still want? I don't think so, but... Actually, let me grab that one. Sorry. Got hiccups all of a sudden. Okay, that was only one. Give 100,000... Or down to 100,000 here. Donate some stone. To 400. There we go. And let's see, what are they looking at now? Yeah, as you can see, a lot less extra damage from gold because I've been putting all of wood into wood when normally you have to split between gold and wood. Yeah, everything else is coming around nicely though. I didn't feel particularly hurt without missing the defensive benefits there. So I'm just going to put 5 in vitality, or get it to 170, and then the rest into dexterity. More crit, more damage. Alright. Stars into bow. Let me make sure I have all the building upgrades. Okay, I wasn't sure if I did this before they added the stuff with the armor patch. I think I have everything, but doesn't hurt to double check. Okay. Apparently cannot blow up that barrel. Or if you can, I just suck at aiming. Alright. Let's get started for a new game 8 run. I am having to actually fight mana. Taking that over. I wasn't sure if I would. All those are bad, but I'll take the dashing one because it's the least bad. And that'll keep me at 100%. Yeah, even if it does slowly deplete my mana, I'm not really noticing it. That's fine. And there are talents along the way that will reduce the cost even further. So I'm good. I just need to pay attention and not spam into the void. Spam not into the void, for the void will spam back at you. There we go, there's the second secret. Alright. Sure, I'll take the less mana. Oh, there's one secret. Let me get it before I forget it. There's the second one. Alrighty. I am very afraid of how powerful Warrior is going to be with the short sword and hand crossbow at this level. I know at higher levels it is very, very potent, but seeing how potent just this pry shot here is, short sword might sort of warp the game at low levels around it. I have not tested low levels with it very often, so this is you're learning with me once we get there, which will probably be next. So in this run and then another 3 more, so 4 total runs. It's probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Drums of battle, alright. Had to get the drums going there, that was a bit slow. None of my timing's right. It cost me a bit of mana, and it's going to make me spend mana faster. Forgot about that part. Yeah, let's get some attack speed. Just have to be diligent about how I spend it. I'll get him again. Good talent, but I'm going to get it again eventually, so. Not too concerned about losing it for now, for a little bit more weapon power. And did that put me at 2-piece Markhams? It did. I mean, more iron, sure. I'll miss the attack speed, but I'm still plowing through these guys. And I'm getting a ton of attack speed from the drums. 120%, so the 40% there is less noticeable after getting that. None of those were good, but I'll take this one. Long way around. Okay, first level. Oh, let me get some Shadow Curse real quick. There we go. Well, I could have just re-rolled here, but no, I want that one. Okay, good. Did the right thing. Oh, let me go talk to Bird. Money! Oh, let me check out what the Shadow Vendor has first. Yep, yep. Why not? No secret yet. Alright. I hate finding them on this map. Okay, didn't think over there. Didn't see it over there either. Not next to me. That's good. Alright, there it is. Oh, secret. Oh, ow, that hurt. Let me go get a fruit. Pumpkin. Apologies if any of you have to listen to that annoying biker outside. Oh, 50% damage taken. Nice in combination with getting a lot of Shadow Curse. It's the first time I've seen a cannon spawn in there. Interesting. Broken alignment? Yes, please. An Apothecary's Tincture? That's 3 cents, so that should be even less mana worries. Bumped my mana gain up by 30%. Excuse me. Fortunately, I do not have a water nearby. My throat is still itchy, so hopefully I won't be coughing a bit more. I'll have to take a step away. Alright, that's the second secret. How good am I at experience? Alright, 3 3/4 levels. That's a bit behind. But I did just get the book. That should help. I might reassociate some stats on gear for experience once I get in town, just to make it all the more easier. Because I'm getting a little bit more crit chance and a little bit more attack speed at the moment. Both of which are solid, but that coupled with, 50% more experience means I can skip pretty much all of Quartz. And you know what they say, the best way to play the game is to not play the game. Oh, there, got some more focus. There we go. Okay. I had to make sure there were no shadow rifts, or I would get them first. Whoops. Is that 5-piece? I don't think I've seen an amulet, so I don't think so. Let me check. Alright, 4 pieces of Markham's. Almost gets me out of negative armor. Even with this much Shadow Curse, nice. Alright. That's just equipment, don't need to get it. I'll take the 40 weapon power and 10% over the 5% damage. Still a lot of levels left. Alright. Should get done by the time I clear quartz, though. Ooh. Mistimed my recharge on my volley. Thought it was back yet, but pressing it didn't do a thing, so I guess not. Nothing there was too great. Finally got the last of the skill speed. Hey, Crowley. How you doing? Yeah, just running Ranger here. It's going a bit smoother than I thought. The weapon buffs are definitely stronger than I had thought at low levels. I knew they were pretty good at high levels. But, yeah. Like the range even just on here, it's like, oh, I can snipe these things out of zone for the Ranger. Didn't need to stop by here. Yeah, the game's fun at low levels. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, but a lot of it isn't explained very well, but is straightforward once you understand it. Mostly. Some of the numbers in the background are a bit wonky. Doing all right. Enjoying a relaxing Sunday before Christmas week. A week where I'm sure absolutely nothing at my workplace is going to happen. Thank God I do not work retail. So yeah, I'm just enjoying my time before what is hopefully going to be a very slow week. That said, if something does happen, it's going to be an issue because I am one of the people that is working and not taking vacation days. So there's going to be less staff in there if emergency does happen, but don't expect any. But nobody ever does. That's why they're emergencies. Yeah, same to you too. Alright, let's see. How much experience do I still need? Can't be much, right? Half a level. Okay. I think this comes down to a lack of experience scrolls this run. Yeah, but sometimes that just happens. At the very least, at the high end of the game, you don't have to worry about that because most of your experience comes from killing things and not experience scrolls. So that's a plus and a minus. More consistency, but less just overall experience. Alright. Snakes don't give any experience for some reason. Not sure why they decided to make serpents not give any. Shadowface I could understand because you don't actually hit them. It's only about killing the weak creatures. But, like... Come on, this has hit points. It should die and give me experience. Alright. So I'm going to kill these until I get the experience. Actually, no, I'm just going to run to the end. I'll get enough experience on the way. Maybe. Maybe I won't. I might have to funnel back for a second. I'd rather get the experience before the boss. Not that it really matters. There we go. Yeah, this boss is very, very predictable. He is definitely hard for new players, but once you learn his attack patterns and that hugging him solves most of your problems, a lot of them go away. Alright. Not too bad of a run. 40 minutes. Okay, maybe it was a little bit of a slow run. I'm going to blame it on the experience and needing to kill more guys. So I'm going to go and switch those things out. On this account, I am only playing... that was New Game 9, I think. 8? 8. Let me double check. Yeah, that was 8, and I'm about to go on to 9. I have a higher account with more stuff, but this account is just for running, basically restarting the game after they updated the epics to see, how everything there plays out. Let's see, what do I need to switch? Here I'm going to switch for more experience. I'm going to switch precision to learning. And I'm going to do the same for the cape, where I'm going to switch quickness for learning. I can read. Learning, okay. It was off screen. That's why I didn't see it. That makes sense. Yeah, because I think we're going to do one more run and then take a break for a bit. Unless we get a bunch of people in here, in which case I might do 2 more runs, but I do not predict that happening. I'm going to go mostly into Vitality, because I'm playing a bit riskier. Alright. More into bows. And I will sell more wood. And do some donations before I start this run. You said you were new, so donations, basically, once you get to the chapel at a certain level and don't have anything to spend all your town resources on, you can basically donate them to the church, and gold donated helps weapons, this helps spells, this helps defense, and this helps healing. So basically a resource sink after you complete your town. Each run, I think this is like 3% or something of your cap. So that's why the numbers are going down as you donate, because your max or your current amount to donate decreases, so 3% of that becomes lower. Gotta go down to 100 on this, because I don't have very many. Yeah, at this point I already have all my stars filled out on combo. Most of the left side options for a weapons build, and a lot of the trinkets that are just flat numbers aren't very good for attuning to, but a lot of the percent ones are, or the ones that help with weapon power. Or not weapon power, physical percents and crit chance and things like that. All right. Food-wise, movement speed and experience, because having more experience means you can start skipping the game. More weapon speed, because I'm using a weapons build. More weapon crit, because I'm using a weapons build. And just more overall damage. The option double edge is not very viable, because the penalty of losing 2.5% of your health when you crit does not become overcomable until very, very high levels, which this character is not. Otherwise, I'm just picking options that help my speed and make traps easier. What attunement does is it makes it so that whenever you find that trinket in the game, its effect is basically doubled from what it is without attunement. So, like before, if it gave you 40 weapon power, when you pick it up and you're attuned to it, it instead gives you 80. Some that have like proc effects happen twice as often. But yeah, basically doubles the weapon's power in some way, almost universally. There's 1 or 2 exceptions where it's more than doubling, but like I said, those are the exceptions. All right. That looks correct, so let me go ahead and get started on the next run. Yeah. The Marksman Ranger has a bunch of stuff that helps it move fast with the bow, which is why it's one of the first builds I recommend using weapons with. Because otherwise the movement speed can be a bit cumbersome if you're outside of combo. Which until you find a good weapon you will be. But comes together where combo stays up all the time eventually. Because you can just hop from pack to pack. But that takes time, and it eventually stops once you get into the new games around like 17, where you really mob HP starts increasing faster than your damage. Eventually you outpace it again, but for a good 10 or 20 levels, monsters get really bulky. But that's well past the early game that you're in, so you don't really even need to think about that now. Yeah, I would say for the first couple levels also, spell-based builds are stronger still. I think that weapon builds end up, except for Ranger, weapon builds end up coming online later. But I think that because of all the changes they recently made, that the level that they come online has been lowered. I'm going to be testing that out some later. Not right now, because this is a character that I would be using weapons on anyway. But for Warrior, when I run them, that is going to be... I'm going to try to find them a good weapon to run with. And see how effective that feels. But yeah, the official Discord isn't super fast-paced, but if you do have any questions, people there are generally friendly. It'll point you in the right direction if you post the correct channels. Like, obviously you're posting questions in modding. It's not going to be super responsive. Spell builds work in the late game, but they are less potent than weapon builds. Weapons just end up outpacing the damage done. So it's like weapon builds will end up doing like 6 to 7 times the damage that a spell will at very high levels. Yeah, you probably have seen me on there too then. Had different icons for a while, but I think the icons are the same between the Discord and YouTube now. D&D characters. Yeah, 6 to 7. Yeah, there's actually an answer to that in the doobly-doo for the stream. That's something I get asked very often. But yeah, basically you can change that by either inputting a save command into your console or by just modifying the file directly to be a bigger number than that. And the description for the video tells you where that's at. It's definitely one of the things I recommend changing. Oh, no worries, no worries. I did not mean that accusatorily, I just meant because it is easier to read than it is to try to explain verbally. Okay, I am going to pause real quick. Because my scratchy throat is coming back, and I do need some water, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back with a half gallon of water, so that should last me for the rest of the session, at the very least. Yeah, it is a bit chilly here, so the heater is running, and that is drying up the air. Even if I do keep it a little bit chillier than most. Alright, yeah, I got those secrets on the last map. I checked that. Okay. Oh, both secrets right next to each other down here. Nice and convenient. One. Two. Oh, come on. Now the kitty cat wants some loving. Alright. Here, come on. Sit on my lap. You can sit on my lap. There we go. Oh, good. 100% experience gain on top of the gains I put on my gear. That should get me some decent experience from scrolls early on. And that should last for a while. Yeah, I think the cat is demanding this is going to be my last run. Yeah, I am. Alright. No. Hey. The City Hall is useful for unlocking other buildings, but the other buildings are very pertinent as well. I would say I do have a list on my beginner's guide on the Discord, which if you check the threads in the HOH2 questions, that's just a general idea of the order I would recommend, but honestly, easier way is if you can afford it, buy it. And that's just the way I would do it. Don't bother saving resources in the early game. In fact, I would say don't bother saving resources. Spend them if you got them. Alright, I already got those secrets, so I don't need to clear everything here. But I will go ahead and pick up a few resources. Just because I was already there. Oh, first level this early? Okay, all the experience buffs do add up. There we go. Yeah, I'll go with speed there. It is definitely better to level everything instead of just one thing. If you go and press the G button, you can see the titles here, and you can see what other classes give. Like, having levels in Sorcerer gives you mana regeneration, level in Wizards give you spell power, level in Ranger, weapon power, Warlock, resistance, rogue, reduced trap damage, warrior, health, paladin, armor, and all of those things apply to all of your characters. So you can get a good while playing only one, but eventually you'll start feeling the missing stats. But yeah, thanks for dropping in, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Mm-hmm. Ow. That was all me, just standing in melee range like a dum-dum. And that's why you need HP. Not for the consistent damage, or, yeah, health pool, but for when you are a dum-dum. Which will inevitably happen. Nobody plays perfect 100% of the time. The better you play, the less of a safety net you need, though. Hi, kitty cat. Yes, yes, I already told him this is going to be the last game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we'll get your chaser time in, and then we'll also get you your wet food. I know. I'm so cruel not giving you your wet food this early. Here. There's a little cushion over there for you. Go sit down on that. There, let me adjust my mic. I don't think it was saying quite right. Everything on that floor. There we go. The restraint crystal is actually not doing me anything. So, Yeah, switch that out for talent, which will at least clear out the pool talents that there are. Oh, is there... Please tell me there's a place to get Shadow Curse so I can take this. It doesn't look like it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh. Duh. I can just re-roll. Alright, I'm still gonna take that one. Alright. More than halfway there in experience now. That is convenient having all these buffs. Don't want more Shadow Curse though, so I should time that better. There we go. Then again, I could have taken some Shadow Curse and then just got rid of it in the boss fight. Yeah, it worked out. Hi. Okay, no Shadow Shop? Good, good, good. Bloop. There's a secret. Alright, about to be 3 levels into this, which means I'll be able to skip most courts. Oh, Book of Alignment. That's huge for the last bit of experience. Torque of Alacrity. I don't know why it took me so long to remember that. That's a good item. Sometimes it's easy to forget switching between spell and weapon builds. More health is always good, and 20% physical damage at this level is actually huge. So I'll take it. Eventually you only get it for the health, but at this level, both benefits are good. There's the secret. Ow. Thought I was in between them? I was not. Oh, and I got the prismatic focus back. The thing that's doing nothing for me. Alright. Yeah, I'm always in a mindset of conserving potions, but I really need to be realistic. I'm not using that many. If I get low because of a trap, I should just burn it. Despite that being what my hoarder brain tells me not to do. Alright, both secrets. Get them. Alright. Alright, just do the drop properly, and I don't have to waste more potions. Sorry if you hear my antsy cat. I know it's about wet food time, so they are being needy. Not meowing, just hopping all over the place. Oh, I'm level capped. What am I doing? Okay. I missed the level up. I was like, man, it should be coming soon. Oh no, it's already been here. I do need to pick up a little bit of that shadow curse down there. Oh, didn't need that much. That's fine. Oh, there's the secret. Oh, what a trader. Alright. Shady dealer, give me resources. There we go, I'll take it. Alright, now I have a safe room at the end of the hall. There's not really any guys down here, so bit of a waste. Like to live life dangerously. Could have not slower. Could have not risked myself. But where's the fun in that? Alright. You know, I could get the stuff over there. Not really gonna matter. Alright, let's get through this before my cat forms a revolt. Alrighty. Well, I think that's the last run, or my cat's going to have a conniption. So, let's see, how long did that one take? 35 minutes, not too bad. Alrighty. Well, uh, I'll be seeing everyone later if you happen to drop back in the chats. So, Godspeed, and peace.